Get back into it, like, how do you actually, do you already have studios and shit lined up now that you're on your own with it?
So honestly, it was so fucking hard to get back into it. I didn't know where to start. Like I felt like a fish out of water trying to get back in and like not know what to do. So first step was I hit up an old producer I knew through them, and he was like down to take me in. So I went and recorded writing solo and alone time, and I was like, the first step is put music out. I didn't know how DistroKid worked. I didn't know anything Spotify about how to get my music out. So he had like really helped me, like explaining how the process of like putting out the music. You get a UPC code for your music and all this crap. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. So I started putting out music. And then as I started promoting myself on Instagram, I had hit up a graphic designer. I'm like, yo, make me a banner or come do a photo shoot. So that's what we would do. So we did a photo shoot, um, cheap music video in a parking garage. Till this day, it's still on YouTube. I thought it was fucking hilarious. It was really stupid, but it's still there.
Honestly, it's a
Um,
good video.
you've seen Alone Time?
I mean, I was watching it just before, and I like, because I mean, you had like a bunch of shit on your YouTube, so I'm like, let's watch it. And
Stupid video. It costed me like $150. I like hit up the guy. I was like, yo, like, can we shoot a video tomorrow? He's like, yeah, where are we gonna do it? I'm like, I don't fucking know. He's like, I know a parking garage. It's like, cool. And I just grabbed a bunch of random shit. I brought my big Yoda. I brought a fucking inflatable fucking unicorn. None of it made sense. The aesthetic is like, it's hard to understand, but it was just so funny that I was like, fuck it, I'm putting it out just the same.
I thought it was a cool video. It was better than all the Airbnb car videos.
Yeah, that's
Like, and it showed personality on ultimate. I guess if it's like, like, that's the most important part, I think, is it like, that felt very you. Like, all of your outfit choices, it just felt like, oh, that's what Talia is like. So you
like
accomplished that goal
they
pretty fucking well.
till this day, like that video is so fucking stupid, but like I was genuinely having the time of my life when I recorded that video. And like the energy that comes that radiates off that video when I watch it, it's like it's just like a throwback of the good time I had filming it. So yeah, it's a little stupid. My personality does shine in it, but I hate but love the video. It's like a bittersweet end result.
Yo, I love the fact that you just pulled it off of what you had and just did it. That's amazing.
I mean, like, I didn't know where to start with my music, and I was just like, I'm on my own. What do I do? I need a music video, right? I never had a music. That was my first ever music video. So I was like, let's shoot a music video. I don't know anything about backstories or concepts or like mood boards. So I was like, fuck it, let's put it all together and go from there.
I've
From
never in
there,
my life fucking done a mood board. A mood board. I don't even
yeah.
know exactly what that is. I'm gonna have to actually Google that shit later.
A mood board is basically like you just put a bunch of pictures of like a vibe or concept you want to like come together. So like I had made a mood board for like my song Harley Quinn, where I put like a black dress and like a medieval mansion, or like you set a tone for what you want to be delivered in the video. So when you give this to like a DOP, they know what to look out for.
Yo, what is a DOP?
A director of photography. So basically they like set up the video and like get everything together.
Yeah, that's fair. I've never gone down the path of doing music videos in the way you're supposed to do music videos because I was like, I got a cell phone. Let's run it.
Yeah.
And trust, they're not amazing music videos, but yo, that's nifty. So you got to create a mood board to give to a director of photography if you want your shit to look nice.
Like you don't have to, but like it helps. And it depends like the company, right? So if it's some you're like one of your cousins who films videos, you're not gonna make a full mood board and like be like, hey, this is what I want. What you're gonna do is be like, yo, we're meeting up here at the Airbnb with like 15 dudes in the parking garage. We're gonna shoot a video. So like that's where you see the difference between someone who's just putting something out to put something out and someone who's putting a lot of thought and creativity behind it.
Nah, I hear you. I didn't, but even then, it's like you're saying then that if you're gonna work with really dealio types, a mood board is like a thing they're gonna ask you for that you need to know what it is. The way like concert people be like, send me a press kit, motherfucker, and you'd be like, what's a press
Exactly.
kit? And you'd be like, okay, say word. I don't know. And then you like have to run through and reverse engineer all these things you're like supposed to have on deck when you deal with the big league people.
Yeah, exactly. Like they want to have an idea of what's going on in your head. Like what do you envision? What are you thinking? Because saying it and showing it is two different things, right? So I could be like, yeah, I want a black dress. Okay, do you want a tight black dress? Do you want a puffy black dress? What do you want? Show me, make a mood board, and then from there, it makes everyone's job easier because everyone has a clear understanding of how you want it to go.
Say word, that's super big time useful. I don't think a lot of people I talk to try as hard as music videos as you do. But to be fair, you had like all kinds of like real music video shit going on with your music videos. At least the one of them with the cake and the shit. I was like, that is like
Oh
a
my god,
fucking
that
like. Honestly, it's one of the biggest production music videos, at least from effect, I think I've seen from people I've met locally.
really? Oh my god, if I could tell you the story behind that video.
You absolutely can.
So my boy that works with Astrid Collective, shout out DJ, he's a videographer and he was like, I want to shoot you a music video. We need to get something done. This is my price. I'm like, yo, this is fucking cheap. I'm like, where the fuck? I don't have time to like set up a location to film at. I don't have the budget for it either. So I was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna sit and we're gonna think this out. So I sat alone in my room for like 2 weeks. Well, not like 2 weeks straight there, but like I sat and thought on it for 2 weeks, and I was like, what does this song tell me? What does this song tell me? And I'm listening to the lyrics, and I'm like trying to Copperfield, David Copperfield, something like that. And I was like, yo, magic, magic. Where can you find magic? At a circus. I'm like, okay, so now how am I gonna build a circus? Where am I gonna get a tent? I was like, okay. So I went to the dollar store and I picked up red tablecloths and white tablecloths, the plastic ones.
Holy shit, this is helpful. Keep going.
Bro, I like literally picked them up, I cut them into strips, and I like emptied out my bedroom and I pinned them to the wall with little fucking, what are they called? The little pins, thumbtacks. I pinned them to my wall with thumbtacks. I put a coat hanger and stuck it to my ceiling and then hooked all the pieces of the tent to my coat hanger, and I turned my room into a circus.
That's in your
And
room.
it was in my apartment. The whole video was shot in my apartment. I was like, I don't have budget to like go to a circus. I don't have the budget to like rent out a studio. I'm like, but I do have my own place. I have space. So I I bought all the props. I set up everything, got the costumes, organized it, got the cake sponsored. Both cakes were sponsored to me because I like hit someone up and said, yo, this is gonna be a sick production. I like literally like just fucking went in, directed the whole thing, set up the whole thing, and then just told my boy, like, yo, show up at this time, everything's ready. And that's literally what happened. And we just filmed the whole thing in my apartment.
Yeah, say word. Honestly, I'm gonna use this as an example in the future of like a story where people who may not feel they can achieve things can probably do a lot more than they think they can. Cause holy shit, I
Yeah.
know it's gonna sound wild, but I never thought of buying Dollarama props to convert my apartment into a set before. I find the older I get, the fucking bougier I get in the worst possible ways, and it's super hard to think like that. That's
Like
wild.
in total, that whole video with like costumes, props, and the camera guy cost me $500.
And that's a wickedly really cool looking video, all things considered. Like it looks like some fucking pop star shit that's like actually got label back. I thought a label was behind that. No fucking lie.
It was all this.
Well, I
It
mean,
was quick. It was a lot of thought behind it. Like I was stressing so hard. What can I do for this video? And like I just kept listening to the song on repeat so much I almost threw up. But like I finally had a concept in my mind. I was dead set on making it work, and it came together. And people till this day, they're always like, yo, that video's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, but you did that and you spent no money. That's wild.
I spent money, but
Well,
I
like
didn't spend
relative money for like
uh,
the way that video looks. It looks like you spent 5 racks. You know,
yeah.
like just to get the studio space and shit. You know, like it doesn't. It looks like the Hustle podcast studio space was used to fucking film the video more than not.
No,
Like
it's
one of
all in
those locations. So it's wild to me.
and what helped too is like when the videographer came, I had told him like what I want the scenes to look like. So I was like, we're starting off here. You're gonna pan from me to the cake, and then we're gonna do like a little this, and like I directed the whole thing from top to bottom, and like he was so cool to work with too because he was like giving his input, and I love it when people give input. Like, don't be quiet around me. Like, tell me what the fuck's going on in your head, and we like everything just blended well together. And I recall like a week after we filmed, he's like, yo, come, we're gonna edit the video. And like I just watched the first bounce of it and I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck? And I was very proud of that. I'm still proud of that.
Nah, it's really a cool video and all of it. It's also a good story. You know, not everything in life turns into a good story after too. Um,
Yeah. That's the life of an independent artist, right? Like you have to really like think outside the box. You can't have people think for you because you don't have anyone behind you to help you think, right? So sometimes just secluding yourself for 2 weeks in your own head, that that magic moment will come up and you write it down and you set it all up.
Honestly, I talk to a lot of independent artists. There's a lot of varying degrees of autonomy in this, so I'm duly impressed that you pulled that off the way you did. Everything about that's remarkable. That is a remarkably cool like that's like a blog article that would go
Yeah.
viral because of how like ridiculous. And I'm not being hyperbolic on that. The sentiment of it, like how to make a bless ass video on $500 with Talia, like you know, like that's some real like not as common as you'd think shit. It's like that Sum 41 video they made with action figures that cost them no money. It was like fucking a huge deal because they didn't spend money. And
Yeah.
and it's not like some cheap shit. Like I mean in the sense of like the look and feel. Like it's got outfits and all kinds of shit going on.
Yeah. Like the costumes were really cheap too. Like they looked like I had to like find a way to make my clothes work with the costume, and then I had to go to like Village de Valor to buy the Gaia shirts, and like I really like wanted to pinch my pennies. I like it worked out. It was fun, but for other artists that might be watching this, like if you want to do something and you're dead set on doing it, like where there's a will, there's a fucking way. Like 100%, where there's a will, there's a way. Just fucking think about it. Use your resources, arts and crafts. You're a creative person. Like make shit happen for you. You can't sit back and let shit happen and wait for it to happen. You have to do it. So fucking do it.